Right now is not a good time to be a pre-con buyer who overpaid for a pre-construction project within the Toronto condo market a couple of years back and is looking to assign it. That's right, there's a lot of pre-construction purchasers who are right now trying to enter the assignment market that are feeling the pain. And I know this firsthand because I got a lot of people reaching out to me every single day from this channel, from my main channel, from my other social media platforms saying, hey Sam, I bought this pre-construction project. Can you help me assign it? The occupancy is coming up, the closing is coming up. And I've seen firsthand the prices at which they purchased at and the prices right now at which they would have to sell at if they want to actually successfully assign their home. But that's not even the worst of it, because if they actually are unable to close, and this is what we're seeing more and more of, a lot of Toronto condo developers, a lot of Toronto condo builders are looking to now sue buyers for being unable to close. So what does this all mean? What is really happening? Well, as always, we're going to discuss that and more in today's video. If you're new to the channel, hello everyone. My name is Sam from the Pre-Construction Connoisseur. On this channel, we like to discuss everything having to do with the Toronto and GTA pre-construction market, development news, pre-construction previews, pre-construction market trends, and so much more. So feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review if you happen to enjoy this video. This is my new channel, obviously just for pre-con content. So your support in terms of a subscription and a thumbs up helps a lot. Or feel free to get in touch with me with any further inquiries. My contact information is always in the description. So oftentimes as a pre-construction purchaser, whether you're an investor or you're an end user, a lot of people assume the worst case scenario is you simply selling something at a massive loss. And this is oftentimes in the case of an assignment. And indeed, oftentimes this is actually the worst case scenario. But right now there's even a more dire consequence that a lot of buyers are facing. And it's not just losing the deposit, because that is also a worst case scenario for a lot of buyers. But no, right now it seems as if a lot of buyers are actually facing the legitimate threat of the developer suing them for their inability to close on their purchase. That is actually the worst case scenario. The latest example of this is actually a builder that I'm surprised is doing this, because they're actually a pretty large builder. Center Court Development has threatened to sue some buyers for one of their latest projects if indeed they are unable to close. In fact, not only have they threatened to sue, and actually I was actually able to find one of their lawsuits online in terms of the PDF form of it, and they have actually levied this lawsuit against a purchaser who was unable to close on one of their projects. You see, taking a loss is bad enough. What's even worse than that is losing your deposit for your inability to close. But the worst of all is you take a loss, you lose your deposit, and then you are sued by the builder. And in these cases, why are people unable to close? Well, there's a lot of reasons, of course, but oftentimes it's people who purchased at very, very high prices during the frenzy of the market, assuming that they will close in a low interest rate environment or close in a more moderate interest rate environment, not foreseeing interest rates coming up and maybe having made a couple of simultaneous purchases as well. Oftentimes, furthermore, these individuals, in my experience, purchase pre-construction units with the sole intent of flipping it before closing, so in the form of an assignment. Now, if you are a pre-con buyer of mine that I've worked with in the past, or if you've reached out to me recently looking to get involved with a project here, a project there, you can attest to the fact that the first thing I always tell my investors, my end users, whoever my pre-construction buyers are, that I do not recommend you purchase with the sole intent of assigning it. I always tell my buyers, investors, and end users alike, buy what you are able to close on. Now, a lot of times, a lot of people don't like to hear that, but that is the simple fact of the matter, because you might be able to assign it if the market takes a turn for the high side of things, but you cannot solely base your investment on that. You have no control of that. There's a lot of luck involved. So let me get into a little bit more detail of what I'm here. I have a lot of people reaching out to me right now who have bought things at ridiculous prices, $1,800 to $2,000 per square foot. And unfortunately for them, a lot of instances when I take a look at how much we would be able to sell their property for on assignment, according to the market comparables in the area of what they bought, whether they bought it in West Toronto, downtown Toronto, in some cases North York, in some cases in York region, oftentimes it would actually make more sense for them, if they're unable to close, obviously, for them to just simply hope that they just lose the deposit, because what we would be selling at on assignment would be a bigger detriment to them than, for example, once again, closing and losing their deposit. Now, on the buying side, if you are out there looking to purchase assignments, there are a lot of good deals to be had right now, a lot of distressed sales. But once again, a lot of sales are so distressed where it wouldn't even make sense for the original purchasers to even sell you that assignment, because the price they would sell it at would be a bigger detriment to them than just simply losing their deposit. Otherwise, there's a lot of assignments coming my way, a lot of assignments I'm seeing out in the market that are priced pretty well, priced at a distress level. And hey, assignments are always a little bit difficult and they have their own risks from the buying side of things, but there are definitely good deals to be had out there right now at this point in time. Anyways, as always, this is Sam from Toronto PreCon Connoisseur. Let me know if you have any further questions. My contact information in the description box. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned.